This is Dan Lutz, and welcome to our latest broadcast. This will be an interesting one for sure. I changed the title a little bit earlier, and I called it Revenge of the Kingdom of Manna. Well, there might be a better title. I might change it after this, but basically there's been some interaction between between the Kingdom of Manna and what's been going on with the people in Fiji, and also the Manna World Holding Trust. And so I was talking with Tank, and we're going to cover that today. So that's why I said Revenge of the Kingdom of Manna. So we'll see see what it turns into. But I would like to make this statement. I do not represent the trust, the kingdom, the world, the Manna World Holding Trust. I do not have anything to do with it. I'm only here finding the truth as to what I know and trying to put the pieces together, offering a forum. So if the Manna Kingdom of Manna wants to come on and talk about what their position is, I'm happy to talk it out. But so is welcome, the Manna World Holding Trust to also come on, and it could be on the same broadcast, and you guys can talk it out. You want to present evidence of Kim being removed or Plaza? Go ahead, present your evidence. But I know one thing from the information that I've checked out. The name on the trust is Kimberly Ann Gagoyan. It doesn't mention anything about the Kingdom of Manna. So, if you have something else, some other type of things you'd like to present as the Kingdom of Manna, please come on and show it. Happy to know. Download some funds into a project. Let's see where that goes. There's obviously a relationship that exists, or had existed. It was started with Kim. I don't think there's any doubt about that. So if the creator of that Kingdom of Manna, the one that basically bestowed sovereignty, finds out later that was a mistake, and she changes her mind. Tell me how that's not within her power, to withdraw her support from you when obviously there was things that she did not agree with. So basically, the spirit of what was going on has not been made available to. The spirit of what was the intention was not going in the direction as we want to be out of a slavery system. We want to not jump into another debt slavery system. So, so come on and explain how what you're creating is in alignment, right? You know what? Let's have the conversation. I'm up for it. So, Tank will be on. There is a response from Tank as well that he sent to me, since we were mentioned in this conversation. That he felt that I should be able to see it since it's concerning me, and so he sent it to me. But I'll let Tank go ahead and read that response, so that we're all it'll be in his voice. He wrote it, and as I said, on my part, it's I'm doing this because I feel this is what I must do. All right. This is a battle for the world, right? It is a war. It is a silent war on some fronts, and it's a shooting war on others. There's a financial war on another front. So this information, in my mind, has to be brought to light. That there shouldn't be things done from the shadows anymore, because that's where all of the evil exists, is they do things from the shadow. That's why they use blackmail. They do all these other type of things to keep things from the rest of the world, so that they can build and build and build and build. So let's stay positive. Let's find our path forward. Let's find out what we need to do to build an abundance-based world. And I'm sure all of the people that are working out of the kingdom of Manna are that they're not all in on some dark plot, but there's probably some that are, from what I know, but I might be wrong. So please, you want to talk about this. Obviously, what we're talking about is making an impact on what their plans are. So this is something that is, if they want to basically say that they're on the right side of things, come on and let's talk about it. So, anyway, I will post the link in the chat on the YouTube, and then you're welcome to come on. That's interesting. I have 81 people watching at this moment. So I would also, and so we're always at 140 people. 100, maybe jumps up to 100. We had a couple times we went over 200, went up to 400. Most of the shows were the people that are watching were really locked in around 140. When we're about half of that, seems like more shadow banning. And I also say that I've had some unique experiences with so they removing ads from the broadcast, which is provides support for what I'm doing here. Now, for whatever reason, it was always the date in which it was paid was on the 21st of every month. Whatever reason, it didn't pay out last month. Okay, well, all right. Well, I guess we'll see. Are they going to do it at the end of the month? No, didn't do it at the end of the month. So we're into the new month, and still they have not paid. Very curious, though, right? Now, I've had a couple of people that had participated in wanting to partner with me, and they got $100 worth of TBC Kringle coin, and that was great. And now I had that it's not a lot of money, $100 a couple times, so that's great, and I transferred it from PayPal. Over a week ago, never arrived. So just said, well, sometimes it takes a little longer. Sometimes, things are not moving. And it turns out that it was returned. And I just found that out yesterday. Why? Because it appeared back in the PayPal account. Well, why didn't it transfer? So I look at this and I'm thinking, is this more playing around with things they don't like the message, so they interfere in ways. The date, the time frame in which this show was to start yesterday, it didn't start at the time. I mean, I set it for the correct time, and I've noticed I've had to gone back in at least 3 times and reset the time to the correct time. Now, I didn't catch it yesterday. Said we were going to be on at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, or 7 a.m. my time. It was really 9. So I'd reset it. But these kind of things are very much showing that we're on the right track. We're making an impact. So I'm going to ask for your assistance in getting this information out by sharing the link. You can do it right now, right at the bottom of the screen. Actually, I'm just to make an emphasis on it. I'll just share my screen here. There we go. And so when you go down here, there's a share button. If you select the share button, you'll get the ability to go ahead and either copy the link down at the bottom, or you can go click on share to Facebook, and it'll take you right over to Facebook, and you can make a comment that says, and say, please share this video. It is important. And that's a very simple way. Oh, I misspelled, please. I just saw it there. Okay, I'll have to go back and correct that later. But you can see it's very simple to do. Please do that. Also, go ahead and give a like right down here, and copy the link. As I said, if you go here and you do the copy on the link down here, just hit the little copy. I don't know if it's happening. You can then paste that in your social media. I can go over to, say, my Telegram, and I can post the link. So I'll just go do that really quickly, so people can come on, join right. Oh, that's the wrong link. So it didn't click. See, that's one of those things. That's for people to come on in the Hangout. I don't want that because we're going to leave it open for that. So, well, the other way to do is go up to here. It's the same link on the URL. So I copied it there. We go right back over to my Telegram. I'll paste it in one of my rooms there for people to come on and watch what's going on. So that's what it takes to do it. Now that type of assistance is very helpful. So please go ahead and give that a shot. And that will actually help things. So we're up to 94 people watching, so maybe it's starting to make an impact. So, again, thank you for also. Well, one other way that you can help out, any contribution can be done right down here where it says show your support for Dan Lutz. Just click on there. And then there is a place where you can go ahead and add a donation. I don't think I can support myself, so it doesn't show me that. But actually, it'll be good to see if it works. I went ahead and enabled it, but I don't know if it works. But it would appear in here as part of the super chat. So this is another way to support what I'm doing, what I'm trying to basically set a place where we can discuss these things and forge our path to a new abundance-based economy. So that's one of those things that's challenging in this world. There's a lot of people that are used to dealing with making projects and having money to do things, and suddenly they find that there's no money out there in the system. This is happening across the board. It's the squeezing out of the last drops of things in the economy, so people cannot start new businesses. So that's why it's so important for us to be able to really get a. I'm doing this. I'm sorry. I was trying to get the chat bigger so we can take a look here. So thanks to everyone. So we've got people from Canada, Netherlands. Let's see, anywhere else. So anyway, anyone can always put up their place where they're at. What country they're in. And it'll give us an idea of what's going on. Let's see. So I did post the link there. So again, that was for the Kingdom of Manna. If they would like to come on, you can do it. So not too much yet there. So hello, creator friends. Thank you guys for joining. All right. stop sharing the screen. We're gonna go back to the screen. Oh, we have Tank has joined us. Hello, Tank.
Hello, everybody. What's up, Dan? How's it going?
It's going good. I did go through, that I named this particular episode "Revenge of the Kingdom of Manna."
yeah. I they have they have said that we are imposters. They've tried to uh
You
put
know,
that
I
together.
I should have gotten like the nose and glasses, the fake nose and the little mustache, and come on, put a hat on, so come in disguise, right? But what am I impostering? I've never claimed to be part of the kingdom of man. I never claimed to be part of the Manna World Holding Trust. I've been pretty clear. So what am I impostoring? I'm just talking about what's going on and the way that and the information that I have discovered through my sources and what I can tell. And I did say earlier that what I do know is the name that's on the trust is Kimberly Angogoyan. It has nothing to do with the kingdom of Manna. So beyond that, if they have other evidence, they want to talk about it, they want to say what the situation is, they're welcome to come on. So I posted the link there. They're happy to come on here and discuss it. And I did say that you send a response, and that I would let you read it if you'd like.
Yeah, I will read it. Sure, yeah, I'll read that. I I will. Tui didn't give me permission to share the other emails, so I'm not going to read those. But the gist of it was basically that um, they were trying to accuse our friend Tui of being connected with these imposters who have nothing to do, no official connection to the Manna World Holding Trust or the Kingdom of Manna whatsoever, and we are imposters, trying to deceive everyone. And
I made the statement that at the beginning of this is that I have nothing to do with the Manna World Holding Trust. You may have a different position. I don't actually know what that actually official capacity is, if any. But I know that I don't. I never claim to. I'm just talking about the information that I've discovered on my own, and what is connecting out there in the financial circles and in what's happening with money coming into the system. Those things that I could have some ability to look into have come back with information that says, well, I should probably help support this effort, right? Because it looks like that's where we're headed.
you're absolutely right. So, and yeah, and I mean that's why I mentioned it too, because you know, believe me, I've lost many a friend over this process, or a so-called friend, right? Because somebody gets warned off, and they say, Tanks, but people will email me sometimes and be like, Tank, before you lost your way, and all these different things, they think I've been brought over to the dark side. And I really I don't care too much what most of those people think. But when it comes to Kim, I am a little protective in this sense because one, she is incorruptible, in the sense that she has stood her ground against everyone, and two, it affects all of us, right? If you realize that there is a massive conspiracy to take the assets that were gathered over thousands of years, and taken possession of by the controlling, order. The order is what they're normally called in their circle, that we call the deep state or the cabal. That they have, and even the deep state and the cabal, they think that they are part of a select group that will survive the, genocidal Holocaust they have planned. Um, but they won't survive it because they're included in it. So it was really designed to take the assets, legally. Our silence or our lack of action or our lack of like right now you have this moment where, all of these, all the governments, they have an opportunity, and for the most part, we have commonly accepted that these governments represent us, right? But in reality, they're just corporations and they represent their corporate, you know, constituents, and which does not include us. We are more their assets, right? We are kind of bought and traded and, used that way. So, when you realize that, you certainly don't want them to end up in control if you are a human being. Uh, if you're not a human being, that's entirely different. I mean, I guess you have different interests. So, so I'm very particular about that. And in this, there was a accusation that Kim had been taken over to the dark side. You know, she had been removed. They said that she had been removed as the trustee of the Manna World Holding Trust. Which, by the way, that's funny because right before this call, Kim said to me, she was like, she goes, "Don't these people know that I'm the one that named it the Manna World Holding Trust? Like it wasn't even called that before, right?" So she's the one that named it that. So even for them, and she's the one who gave the Kingdom of Manna power. But so you'll get an idea of what they said. This was written back to what I believe is the head chief or the king there in Fiji. So it was written back to and to Tui. So it's to the Honorable Ratu Meli Vesikula and Ratu Tui Loma Loma. Okay. I've clarified just this week that Kim has had no contact with the Kingdom of Manna since November of 2017. There is no higher authority recognized on the planet than Kim, and I have relayed every communication that you shared with me to her. I don't need to be officially recognized by the Manna World Holding Trust or the Kingdom of Manna to be who I am or to share the information I have shared. I reported every interaction 100% accurately as it pertains to Kim and myself. I am not an imposter in any way, as it would be impossible for me to falsely represent myself as myself. I do have official recognition for the approval of my organization, Create Change, for the Community Revitalization Project, as well as approved funding to establish offices all over the world. I don't feel the need to provide these documents at this time, but I'm certainly willing to if there's a need to do so in the future. Dan Lutz has never claimed to work with the Manna World Holding Trust.
Hey, Tank, I lost you for about half a minute.
Oh, okay.
Go back about I guess your create change is I recognize, I think is where I last heard you.
Okay. All right. So okay. So create change for community revitalization, as well as approved funding to establish offices all over the world. I don't feel the need to provide these documents at this time, but I'm certainly willing to if there's a need to do so in the future. Dan Lutz has never claimed to work with the Manna World Holding Trust. He just invited me to come on his show to share the information. Thomas Williams, who was on the broadcast last Tuesday, has a long history working with Kim and has appeared on several interviews and shows with her. I'm not sure who this gentleman is to call us imposters, but he's more than welcome to prove they're working with the Manna World Holding Trust at any time. Kim has openly invited everyone who has claimed that she is an imposter to a simple challenge for over a year now. With the exact same terminal, both the Kingdom of Manna and whoever is claiming to be the Manna World Holding Trust can face Kim directly at the same time to see who is able to bring the assets on ledger. This head to head interaction will make it clear to everyone in the world who the real trustee of the Manna World Holding Trust actually is. Let me just break here for a minute. For anybody who doesn't know, Kim has put this challenge out to every single one of these organizations, every government, every one of the elders. She has said, we'll go head to head. You put in your codes and she'll put in her codes and see who's able to bring down money. She has said this over and over and over again. Just for the record, to anyone that wants to make a claim that she's not the real one, tell me one of them that you can even name their names who's willing to do that. And I can tell you none of them are willing because they would have done it, right? And if not, why are they holding the world hostage by not funding projects? Okay, continuing. I am not concerned with whatever statute or regulation is being referenced by Dr. Jemison, as we are not governed by the laws created by the Kingdom of Manna that he represents. Another side note, The Kingdom of Manna is not registered anywhere in the world. It is not acknowledged as a sovereign country. Kim rescinded all of that. They had one account in the Manna World Holding Trust, and it was in the name of the Manna World Holding Trust. And Kim was the signer, and they have never had access. So they have absolutely no ability to distribute funds for projects. Just an FYI. In addition, the previous claims made by the Kingdom of Manna that Kimberly Ann Gogan has been removed as the trustee by the quote unquote Universal Council are false. She has, in fact, been given additional roles, including the Earth Commander and Earth Ambassador after her time working with Mr. Jester Ellen or Michael Uriel. I'm not entirely clear which of these two individuals was appointed as the king of the Kingdom of Manna because one or both of them fraudulently represented themselves as security for the only true sovereign monarch on the planet, Kimberly Ann Gogan. They used this relationship to try and take control of the quantum system, the world's assets, and ultimately the world's financial system. I don't know what their intent is now, having heard claims of a miraculous change of heart. As you know, I haven't asked for anything from you or the tribes of Fiji, and neither has Kim or the trust. I'm only responding with this message to be absolutely clear about who I know Kim to be and report what she has told me pertaining to the Kingdom of Manna. The Kingdom of Manna only had power or existence because of the decrees that Kim made. They have broken that treaty by not protecting her. Her character is without question, and she has not been influenced by any dark side. For anyone who doesn't know, you can go to the speakproject.net right now, and I posted the original sovereign declarations between where Kim declares the Kingdom of Manna sovereign, and part of the agreement is that they will always protect the Manna World Holding Trust and Kimberly Ann Gogan. That is their responsibility, which they have not done. They have violated because they certainly have not even tried to protect her. I will not pretend to know these men who have written to you from the Kingdom of Manna. All I can speak to is the two false allegations they have sent to you via email over the past few months. These things are easy to prove false, and I wanted to make sure you had a record of my stance on these matters. Regardless of any title or acknowledgement, I am committed to the freedom of the people and the common mission that both you and Kim share. My charge is from a higher calling, and I will not be driven away from that by anyone trying to present themselves as opposition. They are merely a dissenting voice from the truth I speak. Best regards. Tank. Well, I said Stephen Raubit. So,
Thank you, thank you.
hey, Tui Loma Loma.
Hey, thank.
How you doing?
Hi, Dan.
Hello, Tui.
I'm good. Greetings to you guys. Thank you so much for the show today.
And
Thank you for
such a wonderful way of waking up in the morning. Is to present this information. Immediate. So,
Tui, what's up, man? How'd it go? I hope my letter back helped clarify.
yeah, thank you so much for that letter. Thank you. Also thank Kim for her assurance and her reply and her firm assurance on the task at hand. And so I will be putting up a letter of love and consideration to the Kingdom of Manna and reply to them, and then let them know on how or the messages that you've sent. Because this is one of the reason why I'm actually involved and actually here at this point this time, and why you guys are also involved in it, and that just the realization of this healing that needs to take place, where everyone else would be able to learn from and will be able to understand how the transition and this change has come about. And I'm thankful. I'm very thankful for your reply. And yeah, so I guess you have already read the email that they sent.
No, too. I did not read the email that they sent. I didn't ask your permission first. So I wanted to wait for you to be here.
Yes, but, please. You can.
I can.
You can. Sure. Yes, indeed.
Okay, one second. So this is from the Kingdom of Manna originally. Well, I guess I could read yours.
I think I can pull it up on the screen since Tui has sent it to me. If you want, I can do
Yeah,
that.
you go. Yeah, go ahead. You can read it too, Dan.
No, I'll let you read it. There's two, right? So which one do you want to go through first?
I think we go in order.
Oh, okay. So, once it starts with the trust, the other says thank you for your reply. Which one do you want to start with?
All the way at the bottom it says, "Greetings, dear Ratu Meli Vesikula."
Well, they both say that.
Thank you for your reply. Thank you for your reply.
Oh,
thank you for your reply. Okay.
Yes, that's the first one.
Let me bring it up one second. Okay, there we go.
I'm not sure what you're looking at. Sorry.
No, it's just the text, so you can read it. It's just not in an email form. It was sent to me in Telegram.
Okay, got it. All right, I just checked. All right, 1 second. So this is kind of a big deal. Okay, so dear Honorable Ratu Mele Vesikula, thank you for your reply. I have spoken with HM, which is His Majesty, and he wishes me to clear up any and all confusion about this current situation. As you know, we are the Kingdom of Manna, and you are dealing directly with myself and His Majesty Michael A. Uriel I. And yes, indeed, we work very closely with the Manna World Holding Trust. However, the people TUI has gotten you and the people of Fiji involved with are complete imposters. They are in no way, shape, or form working with either the Kingdom of Manna or Manna World Holding Trust. Let me please repeat this again, Honorable Ratu, Meli Vesikula, Vesikula, right? The people TUI has been making and publishing online YouTube movies with are imposters and have no role, position, authority, or station of any sort with the Manna World Holding Trust or Kingdom of Manna. Please refer to the Kingdom of Manna book I have sent to you in this email, section 7.2, page 146. And once reviewed, I highly suggest reviewing sections 5.4 through 5.9 for further clarity on these important matters of security within the Kingdom of Manna and its duties and closely tied relations with the Manna World Holding Trust. I hope and trust this clears things for you. Any further questions, please do not hesitate to contact me, Honorable Ratu.
Okay.
So that's the first one.
Thank you.
Now, you want me to read your...
Yeah.
Tui's reply. Okay. So, where's my thing?
Right. I don't have Tui's reply here. I have the next one up.
Oh, I have it. Okay. Dear Honorable Dr. Dr. Stuart Jemison, many thanks for your email of the 29th. I'm sorry, this is not, it's probably, it's Ratu Meli Vesikula.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dear Honorable Dr. Stuart Jamerson, many thanks for your email of 29th of March and the 1st of April. I'm very sorry and much perplexed by what has transpired. I was assured by TUI that the World Manna Holding Trust and the Royal Kingdom of Manna are linked and functioning closely together. This is also my understanding, and I will have to speak with TUI again on this matter now. Having sent our budget proposal to you in early January, I had planned to ask for an update in 3 months, which is now. In the meantime, however, we lost the use of our old office in the big veranda attached to it where we were doing our training and preparation. A suitable replacement was found in Missouri town, about 10 miles from where I serve as head of the Foundation for the Education of Needy Children in Fiji. Fence. I therefore couldn't be present every day. Please allow me to sit with TUI and others ASAP to discuss the present situation with regards to our aspiration to be totally free and self-supportive in our ancestors were founded on practical love for God and mankind. Thank you very much, and please send our best regards to His Majesty. Actually, you know what? I think we got to read the one. There's one before that these are in the wrong order. I apologize. So this is the first one. This is the first one that went out. So greetings, dear Ratu Meli Vesikula. I trust you and your people are well. Just letting you know, we have had some wonderful additional tribal alliances over the past couple of months. And as a result, I've had a backlog of Crown Legion agreements being finalized. The official registration of such into the various system registries being the most time consuming, hence a little longer than usual as things keep growing. But we are almost completed. Question mark. Not sure why. Given we have also been doing the same with over 1,000 other tribes, we are making great progress. It has also been brought to my attention that TUI has been officially making some interesting claims on Facebook about Fiji and the government in partnership with a group claiming to be Manna World Holding Trust. I have been informed from the highest of intelligence authority and advised from His Majesty that I pass this on to you, that the people currently with TUI, and I assume you also, as lovely or nice as they may be, thank you, by the way, Dr. Jameson, have zero current position or official affiliation with either the Kingdom of Manna or Manna World Holding Trust. At this time, that is all I'm at liberty to share on this topic, but wishing you a blessed day, Dr. Stu Jameson, PhD. So that was the first one. Then TUI's reply. Then the other one I read. Sorry for
Yes.
the confusion. So, you want to talk about those two, or you want me to?
Yes, I'll maybe just talk about it because it's we ever. I mean, uh, uh, just on the changes that are happening. That's why I like I'll give my time to actually just talk about it and just discuss because ultimately, as if you see the letters that I've sent to Kim, he represents the people in Autol tribes, and we work really closely. And I already advised him to just continue with what this discussion. That's why he replied, and then that's how Stewart Jamison actually replied with that other reply. And so I told him we have to understand that this change that is happening on the planet is very, very important. And there is a lot of unknown things that we will only learn through actually experiencing them and actually be able to see the truth about the things. And we sit down with the chiefs even 8 months ago. We already understood that this change, this separation has happened. And so we reached out to the Kingdom of Manna because for us here in our culture, if people claim to be from the Kingdom of Manna or a government of Manna, they represent what love is and what it's the fifth element that is in everything. And if there's separation, then there's a lot of learning that people have to learn. That because if they say they're the people of Manna or the Kingdom of Manna, they will have to have that love to represent what they have claimed themselves to be. To the native people here, you can't just come up and claim that you have Manna or there's Manna in you. We will see through it. We will see all the illusions that you actually see as value. If it's money, if it's power, if it's whatever it may be, when it comes forward, it will always be seen because that's what we are. We all, everyone here in Fiji will know the native people are the people of Manna. And as soon as we'll claim, like I said, as soon as we'll claim our sovereignty, we will name the country Ponua Nimana because Viti, the word Viti, which is translated into Fiji, it simply means we've been searching for it. Viti means looking. It's we've been looking for and waiting for it for thousands of years. And so the chiefs understood that you can't just come from outside and pretend that you represent the Manna or the fifth element. You have to be. It has to be what like. If you don't even know who you are, you don't even understand you think that you are your name or you are all this illusion or you are all the power or all the money that you have and you think that is going to be the Manna. I'm sorry, there's going to be a lot of lessons that His Majesty will have to learn, and you can't just come in and you do that. You have to. So this is why we have to test it. we have to do this, and that's my role as a guardian of my tribe. I have to look and fully understand what is coming and what's going to affect the future of the people here. And so I've taken up the responsibility to see that, like, you have to actually experience it to be able to understand. But it's going to take time for people to actually fully understand. Like I was talking about how mana works, because mana is simply that. It's the fifth element. It's the essence of life force that's within us, that has its own natural way of doing things. And if we don't understand if you try to control it, or if we try to force, we'll have the lessons that we will need to learn. And so this is the reason why we reach out to them. And I try to reach out. I mean, thank you, read my letter that I sent to Dr. Stewart, and that's 8 months ago. I wrote that letter to her, to Kim, introducing myself and what I represent and the people that I represent. And as soon as they don't understand it, then I know that that they are not the people that I'm looking for, and I have to wait a little bit more. And so again, one day we'll have to, if you have it, you can read it out. It's a personal letter to Kim from the Ra collective mind they represent. And I've already known this knowledge like since I was young, and so I was just not allowed to actually to contact anyone, because there are lessons that needs to be learned on the physical level, lessons about the fifth element and how it cannot be forced. And so what's happening right now, what we're discussing right now, it's not a drama. It's just experience of learning that things will actually happen, and love will be tested. Everyone's love will be tested with, will they love their neighbors, or will they love money, or will they love power of people, and how they actually interrelate with each other, and how sovereignty will be exchanged, and how sovereignty, if people can respect each other or no. This is the law of sovereignty that physically everyone will be experiencing, because they are relearning how to get it back. And so, as a whole, collectively here in Fiji, that's simply we're in that point in time. We already understand. We already know that that this has to come, so that people that are affected after this, they have to fully understand what they're doing. And there is no, like this, what you call imposter, or just pretending to represent the mana, or people will actually really see through them. You can, the Bible says you will know them by their fruits. And, if they say they have love and the fruits represent something else, and then you will understand their fruits. And so, like I was saying, that there is no judgment. We've seen, we've talked with the DANK, and that's what you'll see. It's like we've known each other even before we've met so long ago, and we know exactly what has to be done to the planet. But when I talked with them, it was totally, they didn't even understand or even value. And I was presenting to them my sovereignty, and they didn't recognize it, and they wanted to just come in. They didn't want to care about what we think as our native, and they just come in and they do their thing. And I said, okay, then you have to learn what sovereignty is, and you have to really learn what you say when you say mana. You are talking to the people that we spoke the language of mana. That's in our language. That's what the native people in Fiji are, and everyone here has been preparing for it. And if people come in and they, they pretend that they represent it, and the fruit is different, we will see through it, and we will be able to actually see who's just pretending and who's just thinking the same way they used to think before, the same old system of money and the same old system of all the system that they just try to, just change it in a different way. But you can't hide it from us, because you'll like you say in English, you'll stick out like a sore thumb. And the way you are, and the way we fully understand that it's not truly freedom. It's just another way of just maybe a system that people come up with. They're trying to think that that's how the world will be different, but still doing the same thing. And so, like I said, I'm very thankful for the reply from you guys, from Kim. I'm thankful to the Kingdom of Manna, and also the lesson that we are all learning now. Because I don't want anyone else or any other tribe from the like in the few months or few future to be stuck on the same thing and not knowing where to go. And so this why I'm actually involved with you guys. This is the real reason why I actually come up in the call. I already know that they will watch this show and they will question it and they will contact me and we'll have to discuss it together. And I'm looking forward if give them a chance. I'll send the link to Dr. Jamison if you wanted. Then we can actually talk about it because that's how simple it is. We can change the mindset of the people, and we see they will all be able to see the same light because it's the same awareness that's within us. Even though they're trying to do the like good, but that's why we are right here right now and we're discussing about this in this time, in this moment. Yeah, so I'm thankful to you, Dan, to thank to enable me to actually reach out to you, and now they've come up with it because like I said in my reply to the email, I'm thankful because this is the immediate healing that is needed to be healed first before we can move forward, because this just happened just 2 years ago. That is needed, all the lesson that everyone has to learn from and grow from. The Manna, it simply means no separation. It means love. It means unity. It means the awareness within that is working together, that is in everything, that is all awareness, that works together with the four element, that is one with the four element, that is the four element. And the lesson that it will express physically in the human level, that's the lesson that we have to try and learn on our own and be able to understand on our own. And no one else will be able to tell you, because the fifth element is within you. It cannot be, like I said the day, like I said, cannot speak about it, but I actually meant that it's not words, it's just within you. And so, yeah, so I'm thankful for the show today and to be discussing this because this has to be brought to light and everyone needs to understand and learn from it. And we learn from it, they learn from it. Hopefully in the future, everyone will be, like what Jesus did in the Bible. He already saved the 199. And one of the ships are missing, just one out of the 99. He has to go and look for it. And so that's what Manna means. You can't leave one behind. If you leave one behind, then you negate the whole reason why you are trying to save the planet. And so that's the lesson of love that all of us will have to learn.
Yes, and thank you again for coming on and talking about this. And it is something we want to be aware that we don't want to repeat the same process that when even though it's another version of the existing system, why we don't want to participate in that. We want to basically stand on our own and come up with a new system that is for everyone and abundant. And the fifth element, it's hard to express, is a way to live your life. You follow that path, and we will be in a different place if we take those steps. So I appreciate everything that you've done to express this here, and that it will help. So Tank, I would ask you to. If you could express the reason, as you know it, why there was a split between the Kingdom of Manna and the Manna World Harvest Trust and Kim.
Sure. So the character, actually Peter Ellerman is his real name. Peter Ellerman was masquerading as Jesper Ellerman, working as Kim's security. He was controlled by Jesper Ellerman, which, from what I understand, is a formidable bad guy, so to speak. And Peter Ellerman, now I guess he's known as Michael Uriel because he started naming himself after archangels, is what Kim said to me. What happened was that they were building a alternative financial system that so they could, she gave him access, and she had various programmers that were working on that, and she worked on that for 2 years so she could transform the financial system and essentially make it so the previous mindset of um, the previous trustees would be removed, right? Just that way of this cannibalizing system that essentially was always designed to essentially burn itself out, which is what's happening now. Because if you're trying to just take as many assets as possible and get very rich and leave everyone else poor, there's no real circulation of money, and they have been ruthless in their efforts to do that. I could literally sit here and list off projects from all over the world that have been seeking funding for 10, 20, 30 years, some of them. And some of these projects are world changing ideas, inventions, agricultural efforts that would, feed the world, amazing things all over the world. And I've talked to hundreds of people over the past 2 or 3 years about these different projects. And all of them have been left without funding. All of them waiting for the Chinese elders to come through the global currency reset, or, other organizations claiming, such as the Kingdom of Manna. And essentially what happened was the Bush cartel, the Black Dragons down in Paraguay, they come to find out they were building this alternative system, this financial system. The hackers were there on the Bush Ranch, and when Kim discovered that, she dissolved everything to do with the Kingdom of Manna, and she has not spoken to them since November of 2017, as I said in the letter. And that's because their plan was to essentially take over the trust. Now, in previous timelines, what has happened, uh, that is that they would identify someone else who could access the trust. So this individual had, gained access to the trust because Kim trusted him. It was her security for 3 or 4 years. So he was very close to her, right? And they were studying. Basically, this was the arrangement to get access to the trust. And when Kim realized that she had been deceived by someone close to her, she dissolved the relationship with him completely. That's why there's the break. Now, when that break happened, the Kingdom of Mana carried on, for some time. I mean, to this day, right? And I'm not sure exactly, where they're drawing their funds from, or what they're doing, because they don't really have any money. Even the $5 billion that was they originally had access to, they never had their own system. It was never integrated. They had an account, and they only had one account number, and that account number was completely dissolved. So there's no money in that account whatsoever. Even if they tried to access the exact same account, it would not work. The codes they have, they will not work. Their DNA does not match. It will not allow them in. So they don't have any money. Now, that is the truth, and that's pretty easily provable, which is why these organizations and individuals, they never want to take the challenge that I put out there, that Kim has put out there for over a year. Like, if you are the one who's in control and Kim is a fraud, then prove it. Give her equal access, because they will allow anybody to go in to these terminals except Kim. And the reason why is, as soon as she brings it in, it's clear she is the one. And her plan is to revitalize humanity. And their plan is to genocide humanity. These plans clearly are not on the same track. So they want power and control. They want to divide the world up in 5 sections and have different dictators. And they think that they'll rule the world supreme. But in reality, they'd be destroyed too. And all of us would certainly be destroyed. That would be, the first part of it. So that's that's why the break happened. And I will also point this out, that speaking of this transition, you'll notice that they've been talked to 1,000 different tribes, right? And I'll bet you they have promises to every one of those tribes, and I'll bet you not one of those tribes have received a dime. I'll bet you they have not received a cent, because they don't have access to the money. So they have invested trillions of dollars to try to stop Kim from bringing money in. That money itself would have changed the world if they were really about the people. They were them and every other one of these organizations. They're all funded by the same group. It's the same Rothschilds. It's the same ones that they were working with in the Kingdom of Manna. Now, somebody told me the other day that there was a that you know the king there was going to he was supposed to originally kill Kim, and he had a change of heart. So that's their legend that they've created, right? But the reality is that plan still is to this day to say that we're imposters, and all I'm doing is reporting exactly what I've spoken to Kim about. I've had Kim on calls. She's sent me, dozens of articles that we post first all the time. All of that comes from Kim. So you can call me an imposter if you want. Come prove it. Like, we're here right now, lines open. Come tell me how I'm an imposter. Because I know my job. I know my job. And there's no way, none of these guys even remotely impress me. They do the exact same thing over and over again. So that answer your question.
Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, thank you so much. Thank you, thank. I just wanna just continue on from there. Just
Please.
just to talk a little bit about the experience and shared experience that we've had here, and we've I already knew this. I already knew about the separation even before I, I reached out to them last year, and the letter and the letter that I wrote to them. I know that Tank has already read it, and the letter to Kim, and they tell me that Kim is no longer the trustee, and there's a new trustee that has been appointed by the Universal Council. And I know that they've been doing that. But I really want it in a way that that people have to actually learn and know, and to be able to truly experience it in a way that like you saw that we're discussing about it now, and that it's not like just hidden. That's why you'll see what we're doing here. It's transparent. Everyone knows about the light and the freedom that is upon them. Everyone, because everyone is a sovereign, and that's how the whole thing has to be done. Not in secret and not in just a few people knowing about it. Otherwise, you'll be doing the same thing you're trying not to do. And I'm thankful for that chance. Yeah. So they actually use the sovereignty. I call them they acclaim the sovereignty of the Elohim, because they use all the archangels and the angels of the Bible as their name, and we recognize that. But they're talking about manna. And when they come to the real people of, that's what we are in the native and the 12 tribes in the Pacific. We fully understand what manna is, and we fully know if you represent manna or if you are manna, then you will have all this connection with the planet, with all this. They brought their book, and they brought the awareness, which is basically almost the same way the religious faction did what they did. They tried to introduce. They tried to come and teach us about sovereignty, and they were calling us up. And for us, for me, if for example, if we're doing an exchange, I know that it's quite hard to actually come physically, but if you're physically exchanging sovereignty with a chief in Fiji, it's very disrespectful. You don't recognize them if you don't come in person, and that's one of the most important things that I told them that it's very important that you do that, because if you don't do that, then you have become kaisi. Kaisi is the word that we use in Fijian, which represents those. That's why I was talking about cannibalism first time, because kaisi are those people that are not sovereign. That's what happens to them, because they've done. They don't fully have the respect of the mana that's within everyone. And so, if you do that by calling, or you do that by just paper, it won't be complete. That's why I'm very thankful for Kevin representing everyone in the US coming here. It means a lot, because you guys have physically come here to actually exchange the sovereignty. Just by him being here and exchanging that, the paper and writing the letter, it simply means that you people are the ones that we are looking for. The team is the one that we are looking, that he's actually the one. And it was for them, we read the letter to them, but they didn't even, they think they will, after the letter, then they will have to come according to the laws of what they call sovereignty law, or the law of monarch. But in Fiji, it's our customs. We don't have to be taught sovereignty. Everyone here in Fiji is sovereign. If you come to the native culture, if you treat someone without sovereignty, you will be dealt with, and you'll be dealt accordingly. And in the past, that was so important, because we had to carry that and keep that with us until the Manna returns. And once the Manna returns, we will understand those people with Manna, because they will respect us just like we will respect them. And so that's the lesson that, that's why we are talking about sovereignty. And that's the lesson, that the role of the chiefs in Fiji will have to teach everyone else that has forgotten. And if it takes, once we get that sovereignty that Kim will actually give, and once she does her role in the expression, physical expression, which is what money would represent, we will be that will be our role to actually do that within our community, within us, and we will regenerate ourselves. Then we will remember who we are. So yeah, it's I'm thankful for everything. We're in a very exciting time. There are a lot of lessons to be learned, and a lot of relationships to be created physically, and we'll become one. It's like a family. It's a big family reunion. It's just been thousands of years we've forgotten who we are, and we've forgotten our family members. And now, since the Manna has changed and the Manna has come back, we'll have to remember this. And so we are in that process of self-awareness and self-learning, and remembering the Manna within everyone, and the Manna that has to be expressed because it's realized, and which simply is love. And this is what the fifth element really is. And so if money is still valued, then we are selling that Manna. And when you sell Manna, that's what happens. We become slaves, and we have been selling it for thousands and thousands of years. The big countries, they've been selling their themselves. They've been selling the plants, the animals, the fishes. They've been selling it. They've been using money outside of them to value the essence within, and nothing has been learned. Like what Tank is saying, it's a system designed to actually just eat upon itself and self-destruct. And so, if we can fully understand the new system, we will be able to simply don't even force. We won't even force the change of the fifth element, because it will just come naturally. It's like I always compare it, because the agreement is in your body. I always compare it to the fingers. And so, if you look at your finger or your hand, wait,
Where's your hand?
yeah, it's your hand there. If you look at hand, right, you see that hand is separated into 5. It's designed according to the fifth element, which is within itself, within the bones, and that's how the separation of the planet right now is happening. And you can only walk when you open up your hand. And this wisdom, people have to learn that, because the agreement is written inside your DNA, which is the design of your body. And if you want the unity between these 5 elements, or the 5 expression of the humanity, they have to follow the natural way of movement to close them together. You see, you don't force it. It has its own natural way, and it follows the natural movement of the hand. And then it has the motor mechanics of it, the biomechanics of the human body. And this is designed according to the fifth element. And this is how life is. If you try and force it, you them together. And this is a physical way of actually forcing the unity of the fifth element on the planet, or even the people all over the world. People have to learn that agreement. It's right there in their body. It's really simple. The fifth, the four expression, it will come together on its own, no matter what. If you try to force it, that's why everyone is displaced all over the planet, because they try to force, they try to inbred, they try to create it on their own. They try to force it because they couldn't wait for it. But everything, like, even though if you try to force it, you always work within the fifth element. Your choices and everything will just work in that way. And that's a really big lesson for everyone to actually learn. If you try to force it, lesson for you. If you go with it, you will ride the wave, and you will learn a lesson of love, lesson of unity, which is so easy. It goes with everything that is supposed to, how it's supposed to go. And that's what we've been doing as human beings. All the technologies that we've been designing goes against the fifth element. We're trying to force ourselves through the air. We try to force ourselves through water. We try to force ourselves through we can. That's why we use fuel to try and create, to create force against that force, and then we'll be able to move. One day, once we understand this, there are a lot of people who fully understand it. It's like the force, the energy that the trees and the plants, they just grow on their own. They don't need anyone to force them to grow. They just rely on everything and go with the weather, go with um, the different season. And that's what our life, native life, used to be. We fully understand how we plant according to what the planet works, and then we ride the wave of this energy. And we don't need anything to be able to. In the past, we can just, if you want to go anywhere, we know exactly how to just disappear from here and go there using the ley lines. But now we don't do it anymore because we so rely on outside of us. And we don't go fishing. They just come up and they come to the shore. We don't even have to fish for them, because this was what we call manna in the past. And so now people have to actually relearn to do that again, and to truly be free. And so, however, whatever illusions we try to create and try to replace the natural way of things, like I said, it's always a lesson. It's always going to be a big lesson to actually be learned.
It's always a lesson.
So what about these 1,000 tribes that they're already talking to? Will they, understand the lesson now?
Yeah, I mean, that's the most important thing about our role as the chiefs in Fiji. You don't understand this yet, but there's a reason why I introduce myself and I say time begins in Fiji, and it's a spiral that's designed on the planet. It's where it's supposed to begin naturally, and once we do it here, everyone in the world will hear it. It's like, that's not gonna be. We're gonna change the whole Pacific. Not, it's gonna be so, because we have the natives there. We know we are family. We don't go and like it's not like a government to a government or recognized sovereignty. No, it's a physical, real relationship. It's not a relationship on paper, and then you pretend we are friends. It's real. You have to come there and recognize them as sovereign beings. It's sovereign. They are sovereign. I am sovereign. We can exchange goods. We can do things. We can agree to a system of whatever we want it, a system of values or system of money. But if we started here, everyone in the world will be able to learn it, and it will be so easy. Our banking system here is, it's really small. We can even create a new central bank connected straight to the trust, and we don't even have anyone budging into it. And just us, the people, doing our own thing, regenerating and then relearning. And then we'll have to teach the rest of the Pacific, and then the rest of how the world. If you look at the map, the land has actually started.
Hello? It's getting good. Come on.
I know. I was like, Tui, you need to get back on, man. You dropping knowledge right now.
Tui!
Well, I can't help but think
too powerful.
Yeah, what he's talking about, it's amazing, because this is like to the spirit of the law versus to the letter of the law.
Ah,
And
yes.
that's what contracts are always, even the entire legal system, that we're used to is really based on, what is it, Universal Corporate Code or whatever, right? It's UCC. And everything with that is designed not based on, even what's real. It's what you can prove. If you can prove it in a court of law and somebody uses the wrong word, or, they'll hold you that letter and they'll make sure that they exact their vengeance or run their lawsuit. Right? That's why we're such a, litigious society. Everything is based on these very shallow principles, right?
Yeah,
Not really based on what's the right thing to do, or, what's the best for, for our tribe, what's the best for our family.
Yeah, I think it's a perfect way of putting it. It's the letter of the law versus the spirit of the law. Right? The spirit of the law is what is the guiding, premise, right? There's a reason why a law was was put together in the first place. It was because of the spirit, not because of a letter, right? It was because someone had to act out of spirit. So that original intent is what we're talking about. If you go back to the original agreements, 16,000 years ago or wherever, what is the original agreement? Was a requirement of some help, right? But that kept being sold over and over and over again, for some kind of offer, right? But it's time to stop doing that, right? We need to stand up on our own and not sell out. So we have to recognize what sovereignty is. That's why it's so important. And so TUI being able to, see, what was happening with the kingdom of Manna it's the same old thinking. It's the same. It's about the letter of the law or putting a structure in place. But same thing when I was giving the questions to Tui about, there's a contractor coming into the Fiji and they're just going to build 1 million houses. It's not what Fiji wants, right? It'll be
right.
Right. Whatever Fiji knows. It's not
right.
It's not an outside contractor coming in and building them. Not to say that you can't have say resorts that are appeal to say Americans or Europeans to build a resort. That's a different thing. They were talking about what's happening with the Fijian people and what they want. So, Tui, are you back?
Yes, indeed.
Okay, good. You were powerful, and they couldn't handle it. So that's why you're awesome.
Yes. Sorry, it's my phone that that is giving me the Wi-Fi, and having problem. It always dies. And it's just need to change the battery. And yeah, so.
Tui, you have some background noise that's going to be. He's saying, "Be quiet, be quiet."
Well, listen, I got something to tell you that I think is in line with the universal spirit of the law. Whenever I feel something energetically, I always look for something to tell me I'm not crazy in the physical world, right? So last night I despite us tripping through our our broadcast yesterday, I really felt that we had broken through. And I couldn't say on what because I didn't have that directly, but lo and behold, our very own Anitra Lewis, who is she's got like 20 years experience managing projects for PSE&G, right? So she's a professional, right? And she's the program coordinator for the Creators Network, and she's gathering other people to work with her, right? But she's also a very, very incredibly gifted musician and a singer. So she was at the Oakland Coliseum last night at the Michael Bublé concert. She was like working backstage, and I didn't get a chance to figure out how she got here, to this point. But she sent me a video today, and in front of somehow this happened. She said it was a miracle that she ended up. The picture it was her on the floor of the Coliseum, and she was singing. And Michael Bublé was holding her hand. He was up on stage, and she was singing my all-time favorite song. Matter of fact, it was sang at my wedding, called "At Last." And I think it's the most beautiful song ever. And she blew it out. She stole the show. It was amazing. 11,000 people, and she was just there, working backstage. Like, when does that happen? So I took that as a sign, personally, that, you know what? At last, love has found a way.
Oh,
Indeed.
I have something along those lines where there is this spiritual connection of something that is like an event that is bringing my attention to say there's something that is changing here. When I originally got into the GCR, I was working with a friend of mine who was formerly in the CIA and had schooled me on a bunch of the information about it and so I was very close with his family. Lived in Utah, and so every time that I would be in Utah, I'd stay at his house. So I was, but since I came to the Philippines 4 years ago, was for the GCR to be running back and forth to China, and they also went to Laos with Swiss Indo, and I also went to Sri Lanka, and I also went to Hong Kong and China and so on. But I have not had any contact since I came to the Philippines to Ralph's family. Ralph passed away just before I coming here, and we do believe it was because of the Bushes. That's our feeling. There's no evidence of it, but he had a massive heart attack in the Salt Lake City airport, and he did not have a heart condition. But his Chinese partner of 40 years is who I was working with when I was going to China. So anyway, his Ralph's wife, my friend in Utah, had contacted his Chinese partner that became my Chinese partner, and said we should reconnect because the families were so close for all that time, and now they've been apart, and so they were reaching out to him, and then he passed that to me. And it was literally just the day before I was thinking of both of his wife and his daughter, and was thinking about how are they. So for me, it basically was kind of an acknowledgement of this time of there to be a movement. Now, I've wanted to help their family because I know that he was made invisible because he went against what the cabal wanted, and so they removed all of his wealth, and he was no social security number. He just is a non-person. So his family went through a lot of financial problems in the end. And so I was thinking, how are they? I'd like to help them. And then, of course, then this happened. So, there's, it's kind of completing the cycle. A part of that is completing, or less ready to start something new with them and to help them. And also in contacting my Chinese partner and talking with him about it, and trying to express to him that the GCR is not happening as we thought it was, and those bonds make no bit of difference. And so he's basically, they have he still wants to engage in this, and I say it doesn't matter anymore. You have projects that can be funded, and so you have an investor, and I'm going, no, there's no investor. They're giving you money. It's a grant. He said, but how much did they get back? Nothing. So he's processing that right now. But there's projects in China that I was privy to help with the Chinese people a lot of like solar projects where you're talking about 1 million solar panels, that type of project to provide power. So anyway, there's a lot happening. So this is a very unique time in eons. This has not happened, where we're ready to stand on our own and be taking responsibility, taking our sovereignty and acting upon it.
Indeed. Yeah, we're in a wonderful time indeed. Today I couldn't come on the show yesterday as I went and dropped Kevin off, and he's back in the US now. And so I had to go and drop him off in Suva, the capital here in Fiji, because we live in a rural farming area, and so he's come and he's gone. He's learned um, what he's been searching for, and as we needed to learn lesson from him, he needed to learn lessons from us. And this is a great, and now I'm back with the rest of the chiefs. We are discussing what is happening right now and what has transpired between us and the Kingdom of Manna, and what we have done with the trustee and with you guys DANK. And like I said, there's a lot of learning that has to be learned because of this new change that we are all working on. And DANK, it's have never happened before. And so people might think, okay, it's going to happen this way, or it's going to happen that way. Okay, we try and do it this way, or try and do it that way. When it comes, and how it comes within us, and how it actually happens, will just happen, and people will learn the role that they play and the role that they have to be in, and it's part of the bigger picture of how everything works together. And I'm thankful to Kim for actually replying and giving an assurance on the way she's actually, she's doing her work. Everyone has to do their own part, and all things will just come in, and we'll just work together. And so I'm sitting here with all the chiefs. That's the background noises that you guys were listening to. And I just went and tell them that I'm talking with you guys, and a lot of them are listening in live, and they will go and listen, and everyone will listen. There are these cooperative people of Fiji that we formed. The cooperative is named Fijians Helping Fiji, so it means we help ourselves. And that's what we are standing for, because we fully understand how this change will happen. It's not going to come from outside of you; it has to come from within. And if you can create an environment where everyone in my country will be able to learn that, including all the leaders, then I know that's what we're going to do. And we are prepared. There are 7,000 members already registered to our cooperative, the cooperative effort all over the country. And we're gonna, introduce as soon as we regain, we completed agreement, exchange of agreement. We will do our role. We will work on what we're supposed to do, and that's just following the.
That was Tank.
Oh, yeah, just following the following the manner that is within everyone, and if we do it as fast as we can, there'll be funds if Kim does her role on her part on how to return sovereignty to a nation, to a tribe. She will do what she do. I was telling the chiefs we'll fund all the projects that has not funded yet, and we will help ourselves regenerate and relearn on our own on how to actually be the full potential of the role that we have to play. And we will do that by helping each other and by recognizing each other, and not just each other, and become a powerful sovereign nation. and then we'll teach the rest of our tribes in the Pacific how to do the same thing. And they will be getting the sovereignty, the latest exchange with the main sovereign of the planet. I will be working with the Hawaiian chief to do that too. I will be working with the chiefs all around from the Kanak, the chiefs in New Zealand with the Maori, because we have a native link, and no outside people will be able to understand it. There's just a connection that we naturally have. They will try and come and explain it, but they will never know it. And we almost speak the same language. We almost we do the same. We have the same words, and all around the 12 tribes, we fully understand what mana means and what mana represents with everything, with the land, with the water, with the air, and with fire. And the fifth element is simply that. And for Kim to actually name that the fifth element, to name the trust mana, and we fully understand what it means. We fully understand that agreement has come, and we will just go with the natural flow of how the planet works, and that's what we're gonna do. And so we've been discussing, we'll be sitting with all the chiefs talking, and because it's easier to speak in my language, in Fijian, in the native tongue, because it's much more, I don't know how to say, it has a deeper value in the meaning of the words. In English, it's very, we have this saying that, it's very technical, and there's so many expression outside of the self that's expressed in English, and that's why English is so easy for it to be used as the law system, the system of enslavement. And they've been using that language here in Fiji, and they've been tricking everyone because they teach a different meaning in schools, but they use a different meaning to enslave you. And so that language has become a slave system, a slave structure, because of the value of that illusion, which is words. And things that we think means this, no, it actually means that in commerce. And so all the chiefs, that's one thing we're going to try and do. We're going to change the language. We'll keep the English language, but we will fully value it the way it's supposed to be valued, because the value comes from within, and we won't let any of this illusion or any. That's why when you read what the Kingdom of Manna was talking about, I told them if they were truly sovereign mana, we will be fully working together. They won't be judging, or they will love us according to what the expression that we are. But if they try to teach us and make us think this way or think that way, I'm sorry, they're just not allowing the sovereignty for the people to be expressed. They're trying to think for us. They're trying to do that, and they disrespect us in that way. And so sovereignty, I told the chiefs, there's a lot that a lot of people will learn about sovereignty. No matter how much they will try and pretend to know and to be aware of it, there's a lot of lesson that needs to be learned. It's not just simply words and just papers. It's far more than that. We've been discussing about it. It's the creative energy sense, our force that's within everyone. And that's the role of what the trust is now, to return the sovereignty to every single human being on the planet. And the chiefs here in Fiji, and us and me and everyone that we're sitting down, we know exactly what our role is and what we want to have to do. And as Kim said with her email, she said, I am doing my work. If everyone can learn to do their own, and just do it, and just to the benefit of your family or the people around you, everything will just work together, and that's how it has to go. You can't force anything upon anyone. You have to respect everyone according to their sovereignty or the creative energy that they have created. And so so this change will only come out of love, and love alone, love in unity. If there's separation, then the mana doesn't exist. And so that's the reason why we are here at this point discussing about the Kingdom of Manna, discussing about what has happened, because we need to heal this. We need to heal it, and we need to, just like what you said, DANK or DEN. We don't want to do the same thing again, and then go back in time. And so, yeah, we have to move forward. So to be able to move forward, we have to revalue all the illusions that we come, all the experience that we had, and then make sure that it doesn't affect the future that we try to create. And that's the only way that we'll create a new future. Otherwise, we'll always have fear of what the past, and then it will always affect our creation in the future. And so, yeah, I'm very thankful for it. Thankful for you guys, Dan, thankful for this opportunity today. I'm very thankful for everyone that's listening in, everyone that's all the souls that have this agreement that is listening in now, wherever you may be, whatever part you may be playing, whatever, whether it's negative or positive in this time, you will have a part to play and you will learn the lessons that you have to learn. And this is how the fifth element will work. It's beyond your comprehension. Subconsciously, you'll just do it, and that's a lesson that Kevin has actually come to learn. Subconsciously, he just did it. It's just a feeling coming from within, and he just fit in the right way he's supposed to fit in, and everything makes sense from there. And all the lesson that needs to be learned has been learned, and that's why I'm thankful to him. I'm thankful to you guys, because without you, that won't happen. And without you, this talk with the Manna Kingdom of Manna wouldn't have happened, and people wouldn't have learned this lesson. And so there are things that are at work that is part of us that are bigger, and if we can get connected to the power that is within us, you will understand that from a very broad view, and you'll be able to see what's happening and all the probability that is in the future. And it's like as much as I don't like to talk about it or talk about the future, because I don't truly like to evaluate. I want free will and love to be the only thing that creates the new future, and that's how the fifth element will express itself on its own, and it's just gonna go naturally. And so I'm thankful. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Hey, Tui, I do want to, just for everybody, in case people aren't catching this, I just want to point it out is that I'm thankful too to Tui and to Kim. Kim initially, I know she had done an interview with Thomas back in August of 2017, and I guess she had really made up her mind to go public, right? Now, to go public with some very, very secret things, right? That these secret societies had held the world hostage with for thousands of years, right? And everybody who thinks they're keeping a secret, and they, and I was attacked, on all fronts for coming out and sharing things. I was threatened by the mob and many death threats that I had because I was sharing things that nobody, was supposed to know about. And I was sharing both sides of the intel for a long time, even before I met Kim, because of that. And but Kim made an effort to come out as a leader and share what's going on and really be transparent. And Tui coming out and doing the same in this act right here. This is what leaders look like. When you take something that affects us and you put it out and you share it so that we can all be aware and make smart decisions, so that there's not a continued deception taking place, right? It's transparent right here, live on being broadcast. Obviously, the Kingdom of Manna knows where we're at. We're right here. They just got through calling us imposters, and we've been on the air for an hour and a half, and Dan has put that link out so they can come on at any time. So what leaders do is they deal with real issues, and they're not afraid of it because they're doing the right thing, because they're honest. There's not a bone in Tui's body that could even tell a lie, right? So that's the way to do it. So Tui, thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
I want to say also that as you just kind of alluded to it, but I want to point it out from what Tui was saying. We're talking about this. There's the spirit of the law and then the letter of the law, and so the responses from the Manna, Kingdom of Manna were all about the letter of law, right? Their own law, their own handbook, and but the spirit of law is the spirit of what we're doing is is we're they're saying by the letter of law we're imposters, right? Because we're claiming to be official representatives. I never did that, and I didn't hear you do. I know that there was a relationship between Create Change and the trust, but I don't know the details. But there's no one being an imposter here. But by the letter of the law, what they're saying is that there is no official capacity for B or for Tank with the Kingdom of Manna. That's true, but never claimed that there was. But under the spirit of what we're doing is representing out to everyone what we're trying to do is forge a path for us to create an abundance-based world where we're all sovereign, right? And we're not asking help from the galactic council or from this group or that group. That we're doing it on our own.
That's right.
This is the spirit, right? This is we will have the letter of law, and we'll probably write it in English, and we can use the defined words that are in, say, Black's Law dictionary. Right? The meaning of things is go look up the meaning in the Black's Law, what it says there. Okay, great. That's what it means, and then we go by that, and that's what we teach, and we don't misuse the word. We're not liberal in the interpretation of words. A word means what it's supposed to mean, and we don't kind of mess with the language and make it mean multiple things, because that's just screwing with the spirit.
Yeah, I agree. And look, and I made it a point, that I don't have an official title with Manna, just for the record, and I have not claimed to. I feel a loyalty to Kim because of the way she has conducted herself. I am loyal to principles, not to people, and the principles she stands for have been unwavering. She has shown more integrity than every government in the world, every bank in the world, every corporation in the world, every one of them. She has not wavered once, not once. So I do feel a certain level of I'm protective of that, because I know that about her, and I know that people don't know her and want to run their mouth about her, and I don't appreciate that. Because to be quite honest, I don't see anybody else in this whole planet stepping up and saying, I will stand for the people the way that she has. I mean, at best, the least I can do is support that. And I certainly, so I have, Tui is a beautiful person, and I appreciate that. We have different roles. And as far as I'm concerned, I have absolutely no patience. I have no appreciation. I'm not looking to win them over to our side as far as these groups that want to badmouth her, because they don't know what they're talking about. Because I've been live for 3 years now, all over the place, talking everywhere, and thousands of people, hundreds of thousands, probably millions of people have heard stuff I've had to say, and I never taken the time to badmouth somebody for. I just don't. I don't badmouth people for any reason. Now, in this case, what I'm stating is facts. These are the facts of what's happened, but I'm not badmouthing them. I'm stating the facts of what's happened. And there's a difference. The truth doesn't need to be defended. The truth speaks for itself. And if you're trying to hide something and you're a fraud, then when the truth comes out, you look bad. That's the truth.
Indeed. Yeah, that's like I always tell the chiefs, there's a new light that is shining. If you take the light and you hide it under the bush, then it's not what it's supposed to, or what it's meant to be. And that new light is the freedom of everyone on the planet. And if we try to hide it, how can they be free when that light, it needs to shine, and needs to shine to them, and then they will be able to actually shine, and everyone will shine together. and this is the sovereignty that needs to be expressed and not be hidden. It's been hidden for 26,000 years. That's why people have been enslaved. And here we are having the capability to actually teach people and sit them down. I'm doing a lot of teaching every single day. There's now 500 to 1,000 people coming in every day. They come in and listen, and I teach them the awareness, and they're not stopping. And so as soon as they go home, they go to their different villages, and they talk about it, and it's spreading like wildfire. And now they are watching the videos that we've been talking about, and they are all happy about the awareness of what freedom or the sovereignty that is that Kim and World Manna World Trust and all the changes that it represents. And that's when this came up, I told them this is a lesson that we have to learn, and we'll have to I'll have to go and talk with them, and we'll find out what is the truth, and we have to go through the experience, how negative or how positive it's gonna be. We'll just it doesn't affect us. It's that's why we are sovereign. We just learn to learn from the experience that we have, and then we hope in the future that everyone will benefit from that lesson, and it won't be repeated. And so I'm very thankful for the opportunity that to be talking about it, and to be talking about it with the chiefs. And after this, I'll be write down an email for reply. I've already told Ratu Meli Veskola that I'll be replying to His Majesty, and because he has claimed the sovereignty of the Elohim, like according to our agreement, there's 3 confederacies. There's Zarael, and that's they represent that. And if maybe you will not understand this, but we were doing the same thing 26,000 years ago, and the 26,000 before that, we were doing this exact same thing, and 26,000 even before that, and this sum up to the destruction of these Atlantis and all these other probabilities that you'll be hearing as our history. And we've been stuck on that loop for 26,000 years, but this time is different. This time we will do it the right way, and I fully understand, I fully know, and truly believe that, and have faith in that Kim understands this fully, and that's why she's doing what she's doing. And if she represents to us the feminine energy of the Ra family entity, and we represent the Ra Confederacy, the masculine aspect of the Ra family entity. And the chief, everyone, we understand this. And for someone to come as an imposter, we will see them and we will understand them a mile away. They can hide this agreement. And there's a lot of things that once we meet, people will be able to learn, especially those with the same agreement that are involved in these shows that are listening in. This lesson, I don't want you to talk about it on over here or get interviewed about it. I want you to experience it on your own, and being able to come and join us with the celebration as the beginning. Just like I said, the chiefs in Fiji, they don't recognize any other sovereignty. And I'm making that claim again. We don't recognize any other sovereignty except for the one that Kim has. And this is the real reason why we reached out to the Kingdom of Manna in the first place. This is the real reason why we did that. We already understood this even before, long before I even come to the show. Like I said, Kevin came here and learned so much that he just can't say anything. He used to talk a lot because he has the frequency of the fire and the air. That's how people frequency with fire and air. They're very short. They can't handle, and they see the truth as it is, and they talk about it, and that's how they are. And I came here and grounded him and teach him to be quiet and control and restrict that energy and direct it in a way that is that he uses this wisdom to actually be sovereign and don't use his physical body or physical expression or talking. This is not sovereignty. If you are sovereign, nothing is going to affect you, because the manna, you will fully understand and be satisfied, and understand that everything, the planet will just work on its own. You don't have to force anything or correct anything. You will just know the role that you have to play, and you will do it, and the lesson will be yours. Yeah, and so I'm thankful for that. Like I did that claim, and that's why the His Majesty, or Dr. Stewart, actually said that about the sovereignty. I said, yeah, and that is ours. We are expressing our sovereignty when we do that, and there's no one else that's supposed to come in and think for us or tell us what to do. Or if you do that, then you're trying to infringe on the sovereignty of the native people, the people of Fiji. And and like agreement will just be on paper to you. And this is very, very it's very disrespectful. In the past, people die, and they get straightened up. They are corrected, and you understand what I understand when I see it. Yeah, and so
Well, they
every time I
lived
talk about it, I yeah. And so the manna is a very big thing for us. It's we don't take that lightly, because it is what truth is. It is what the Christianity is, what the kingdom of heaven is. It's what the second coming back of Christ is within you. And in the Bible, that's the kingdom of heaven that is within every man. And once this sovereignty comes in, all these illusions of governments and control will just lose its energy, because the energy that's creating it is the energy now getting self-awareness, and they will just automatically lose their sovereignty, because we are regaining our sovereignty. And so that's what we're going to do in Fiji. The government will keep running the government until they just find themselves irrelevant. And so that's what we're going to do with the rest of the people, the people of the land, not the illusion of control or government. And so we see through that, and it's really easy to just point it out and then change it. And yeah, we have Robert. Hi, Robert.
Hi, Tui. How are you?
I'm good.
Namaste.
I'm excellent. Thank you very much. And you?
I see and hear that. I resonate with you.
Yeah.
Let me share and see if you think everything you said is beautiful and perfect. I've been talking to people all day since I woke up. And have you noticed that times when you're resonating your true being and you're doing your thing, how it might be texting someone on the phone about some particular topic, and all of a sudden everyone around you starts talking about the same topic?
Yes.
In their own way?
Yes.
Well, that happened to me today, and I said, could you guys please stop talking about my phone texts? And they all laughed because they got it, okay? When you're resonating in your being, it resonates like ripples in water throughout the world. And as you're speaking truth from your heart, because your heart, the two thumps in your heart is God's finger putting life in your body. That cuts through all the delusion. When you realize that God's talking to you in your heart, that's the thing you should be listening to, not your mind.
That's what,
your mind is the little devil on your shoulder.
Yes.
And your heart is the little angel on your shoulder. And when you stop listening to the mind, who is trying to keep you from listening to your heart, all of a sudden you start seeing how simple it is, and all the other stuff just kind of falls apart and goes away.
Yeah.
And your voice carries.
And then you'll be able, and then you'll be able to be one with your mind.
Exactly.
And so the mind now becomes, and
our
then
mind. It becomes
the mind
our
becomes,
Yes.
Yeah. And so then this is what the element is.
And how you know it's working is because it generates energy and charges other people up, and they start resonating at that frequency and speaking their own heart.
Yes.
Thank you, Tui.
Yeah, that's true.
I know you know what I'm saying.
Yes, it's very it's what we call manna in my language.
Manna,
It's called
manna
manna.
means bread,
Indeed. Oh, yes.
nourishment. Yes,
Yes, manna.
I
In my
totally.
language, that is manna that you're talking about. And
Yes, it is.
manna
Yeah.
is the, and once you do that, you'll be able to connect with the plants, with the animals. You'll be able to communicate with them just by thinking, because
And
you're
you're
thinking.
so charged. You're so charged up with energy that people start coming to you like you're a flame in the dark, and they start coming to you.
Yes.
They don't know why they're coming to you, but they're coming because they want to be fed manna,
Yes.
energy, love. That's what you're doing when you're in being.
Indeed. It's funny
Indeed.
you're talking about it.
I hear you. I hear everything you're saying. And you hear me. You know what I'm speaking. I'm speaking what you're speaking. It's our
Believe
language.
me, I can feel you from where I'm sitting right now, and
No,
the energy that you've been carrying. And I'm very thankful to you.
I'm
Robert.
vibrating so loud. It's every one of my building is feeling it. And they're all talking to me. Oh my God. My neighbor, her son and her daughter and a granddaughter comes over and she's like, son, I'm so sorry I'm talking to you, but I've been up in Alan's apartment and he does all this artwork and he's been talking to me all day. And it's like he's waking me up and it's like things I don't even say to him, he knows already. That's when it's working.
Yeah.
She thinks it,
We are
and I
living
have
in
the answer
an
for
amazing
her
time.
already. Yes. Thank you for sharing that, Tui, with me. I so am grateful for you.
Yeah.
And thank everyone else. Dank,
Thank you indeed. Thank you.
Dan, and Tank, and Ra, too. I mean, Ra one. That Ra two's me. Anyway, Okay, I'm done. I just wanted to share that. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Bye,
Thank
Robert.
you for coming on and sharing.
Bye.
More energy, more energy. Yeah.
Ratu. Okay.
Next course.
Thank
Thank
you
you
so
so
much.
much.
Thank you so much.
We've eaten that course. Now the next course.
So good.
Yeah. Well, I know. I did put the link out there for the Kingdom of Manna if they wanted to jump on, but they haven't joined yet. But the invitation is opened ongoing. It's only to have the conversation about this. Everyone is open to learning. So let's see what if they will decide that they're going to want to express what their side of it is. So as I said, I don't have a official position, and I didn't ask for one. All I'm doing is doing what I felt like I needed to do, right? And though when I started with Stefan about going on the air, there was no intent to do 30 days straight, 3 hours a day. It's just something that happened. It's about moving forward, not really making a plan about it, other than this is what we need to do right now. And I appreciate everything that has come about from this, and the energy is very significant, and there are the synchronicities that are lining up because there's a lot to happen in the world. This is a worldwide manifestation. This is beyond, just a few thousand views on a particular, broadcast, right? This is, emanating from here and from Fiji, being the center of the whirlwind, the center of the vortex. The energy is spreading outwards across the globe, and it's going to keep intensifying. So, welcome to the ride. So again, this has been a fantastic. So we're in our 2 hours. So, if anyone else would like to jump on and add to the conversation, please do. The link, I can repost the link, I suppose, and check and see if there's anything else. Oh, no, that's not the one.
Dan, I think you could really shut it down, to be honest, because it gives it a 2-hour window where it's easier for people to watch it. And I think what was said was so powerful that it deserves rumination.
All right. Well, that's true. No problem with that. Let's shut it down now. If anyone would like to say anything in the goodbyes, this would be the time.
Namaste.
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 Indeed.
I said I called 7-Eleven today because I wanted to buy a Steam It card for a friend in Afghanistan because he wants to download some music. And I guess I talked to her a couple of weeks ago about the Namaste thing. So when she didn't know it was me, and I finished the call. I said Namaste, and she goes Namaste, and I was like, okay, she gets it. Cool. It was like a week later. Bye. Thank you.